pressure is on LeBron right now.
I mean, there's a lot of pressure on him, and LeBron understands that. He's at the forefront of the MVP conversation, and if he is what many believes he is, the MVP frontrunner right now, he should keep them in contention. Even though the West is crowded, it's very good. Utah is better than people thought. The Clippers won a game last night without their two best players, and they look against a team that went to the NBA Finals last year.
By the way, without 4 starters.
They look good last night. Ty Lue has them playing extremely well.
He does.
Denver is to be reckoned with.
Yep.
Portland is to be reckoned with. So LeBron James is going to have to be on top of his game, as I expect him to be on top of his game. But, Skip, you don't have a choice. And I think what we saw from 2 years ago is that AD is looking at Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant had a calf strain, Skip, that couldn't bother him. He missed 5 games. He come back. He missed a couple of games and come back, and then we know how that ended. And I said yesterday, Skip, I thought they should keep him out for a minimum of 2 weeks. That would take him up to the All-Star game. We reevaluate you after that. Because this is an injury, Skip. You better make sure he's 100%. Because if you don't, it's going to keep flaring up. And the one thing you don't want it to do, forget rupture. Obviously, you don't want to have a rupture, but you don't want it to flare up come playoff time. Because I don't believe they can get all the way home without AD being 100% come playoff time. So LeBron is going to have to be LeBron. Skip, remember now, they had to go to overtime twice against OKC without AD. He played, 43 minutes, 41 minutes? So we see where this is headed. Kuzma says, I just need an opportunity. You're going to get it. AD is not coming back for the foreseeable future, at the bare minimum 3 to 4 weeks. This is your opportunity, Kuz, to show what you're capable of. You say, I can do it. I know I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. You're not going to have anybody looking over your shoulder. Go play the way you've played the last 5 games. Other guys are going to have to step up their play. Marc Gasol, you're going to have to be better than what you've been through 28 games of this season. You're going to have to be better. I don't know.
I'm not sure he's capable.
But he's going to have to. He's going to have to summon something up. And the other guys are going to have to play their part. They're going to have to play extremely well. But I expect LeBron to be LeBron, to stay at the forefront of the MVP discussion, because this is your opportunity, Skip. He could actually win it over the next month if he plays the way I think he can play and keep the Lakers where they are.
Okay, before I get to your man, LeBron James, I want to echo your sentiments about Anthony Davis in ominous tones. I want to echo, because this concerned me to the point of got a little creepy, because it started to smack of Kevin Durant. Wait a second. Now you're changing your diagnosis, your prognosis to the dreaded calf strain. That's all we heard. We're going back 2 finals ago with Kevin Durant. Oh, he's got a calf strain. Well, does it involve the Achilles? Nobody knows for sure. And then he tries to push it back, and boom, it's gone.
Saw what happened,
Okay, so it was an Achilles. First it was tendonitis, then it went to tendinosis, which is more of a degeneration of maybe the Achilles tendon. And all of a sudden, then we switch it around to calf strain. Don't love it. Don't love it for you, for LeBron, for the team going forward. I think you better be way safer than sorrier on this one. You better hold off. You better at least go through the All-Star break and then check signals, and then you might want to go a little longer just to make sure he's 100%. He thought he was 100% going into this game two nights ago. Right?
And that's the thing, Skip. When you miss a couple of games, it calms down. And you're like, man, this thing feels good. And guess what happens? Just a slight push in the wrong direction, and boom.
Okay. Now, back to LeBron James. The MVP frontrunner, according to just about all of the known world except for me. I told you a year ago, I thought he flat out won the MVP as we hit the pandemic. I thought it was over and done. He should have received it over Giannis last year. This year, I cannot see it. But now, I will give you this. The heavens just opened for your man, LeBron James, and he got a golden opportunity without Anthony Davis. They have a tough stretch of games coming up in which he can rise and shine and really help his GOAT case a lot if he could pull away, solidify and cement his case for MVP by carrying this team without Anthony Davis. This is his moment to say, watch this. And in a shortened season, he could gain so much momentum through this period going into the All-Star break that he could flat out run away with it and hide with it.
Yes.
And if he could win an MVP, 18th season at, what is he, 36? If you could do that, you'd obviously be the oldest ever.
Yes.
That would be feather in cap.
Yes.
That would be one where you could say, well, look what he did there.
Right.
No one in the history of this league has ever played better later than LeBron, especially if he could pull off winning the MVP.
Correct.
Okay, so here we go. Stage is yours. Spotlight on you. Show us. I'm going to reiterate my stance on him so far. He is second in the league in turnovers, which I do not love. I'm not saying it's the worst thing in the world, but he's second in turnovers. I do not love the fact that after all this hoopla, hypela, all this hysteria about LeBron James has turned into a three-point marksman. No, he has not. He's reverting to the mean. He's starting to fall back toward his 34% career three-point shooting.
I don't believe he'll shoot that this year.
Okay, I know you don't, but through February, once we hit the month of Valentine's, he did not steal your heart away from the three-point line because he kept firing at a record pace for him in his career. He's jacking up 7 a game. It's a lot. You need to make more than he's made over the last 7 games in the month of February because he's shooting 28% in the month of February. He's 13 of 46. If we just do February, he ranks 170th in the league, 170 in the league in three-point shooting. If we do just overall, he's fallen now to 38%. We have a little side bet on 38 or better, right?
He's going to be 40 plus tonight.
Okay, we'll see about that. And he better be. He better be. Because right now, overall for this season, he ranks 90th in the NBA in three-point shooting because this league can shoot threes now.
Yeah. Everybody can shoot.
Hey, everybody can shoot threes. I used to think 38% was pretty good.
Yeah.
It's just mediocre right now.
I think the thing was helping Skip is that we have a bubble syndrome in their own gym.
Okay.
Because there's no fans, there's no screaming, there's no anything going on. Guys have gotten comfortable. We've seen Skip, guys are shooting 50, 60% from the three-point line.
Okay.
That's unheard of.
Okay. We're about to talk about the Utah Jazz. They are right now living and dying on the three, except they're only living.
They ain't no dying.
All right. I'm going to throw this out again. This is what cannot happen right now over this stretch to the All-Star break. There was a stretch of games from January 7th, which was a home loss to the Spurs, all the way through January 18th, which was another home loss for the Lakers to Golden State, in which LeBron in fourth quarters and overtime went 5 of 24. That just won't work. You can't do that anymore. He was 2 of 12 from 3 in fourth quarters and overtimes over that stretch. Will not work. Got to be better. Going to have to get this team home night after night. And you know and I know, as you pointed out with the 2 overtimes against Oklahoma City, they're going to play a bunch of close games. They just are.
Right.
Because they still have a pretty good team without AD, with LeBron leading it, obviously. Good enough to obviously compete, stay in all these games. I'm about to just whip through all the games they're about to face. They have one tonight at Minnesota, which is by far the easiest game on the schedule, except Minnesota just won at Toronto. Don't underestimate that. They're not a pushover. They're not a walkover. They're not a cakewalk.
You got Cat back now.
They
so
do.
Who are you going to deal with Cat?
Okay, and that's going to be a problem for you unless you fix it at the trade deadline. But the trade deadline is pushed so far back this year, it's at the end of March. Okay, so it's not going to happen before tonight's game. So your man, the glacial Gasol up in the frozen tundra of Minnesota tonight, he is going to have to play bigger than he has been playing, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's...
How about faster? He don't need to be bigger. He just needs to be faster.
But that should be a big dub. Then come the Nets on Thursday night. I don't know if Kevin Durant's going to play or not. But listen, Kyrie and James Harden last night put on a show of shows at Sacramento, a team that can be dangerous, home or away. They're just dangerous because they got a lot of young talent. And Kyrie said no. And the Nets said no.
Skip, you let them shoot 27 threes, you can lose in every game.
They made 27, which, by the way, is their franchise record.
They couldn't miss.
And Kyrie made 9 threes. What? 9 of 11?
And then James said, okay, well, watch this.
Yeah, watch this. I'll make 6 of 10, and then I'll get, what was the rest of it? 14 and 13? Yeah. What? Okay, that's firepower. So even if it's just those two without Kevin Durant, They got firepower, so it's going to be a battle with or without KD. But you know KD would love to play, and maybe they circle that game as his next return. He's been returning all year long. Okay, then they got Miami at home. Miami is struggling. You should win that game because the Clippers beat them without 4 starters last night. But the Clippers, I believe, are the deepest team in the NBA. I don't know how that's going to translate into down the stretch because you got to figure out how to play all those players once you get your 2 stars back and your other 2 starters and Pat Bev and Batum back. But the point is, Miami is vulnerable right now, but they're also whole except for Dragic. They're tough.
Right.
Jimmy Butler had a huge Jimmy Butler last night went 30, 10, and 10, and they lost.
Right.
Okay?
Tyler Hero had 27. Bam had 27.
Off the bench, he had 27. My God. Okay, then here comes Washington. You got a home game against Washington, but they have won 2 straight and 3 out of 5. They're starting to click a little bit.
Bradley Beal's going to get 40.
He's just going to get it.
Yeah, so don't even worry about him.
And Russ has taken the back seat in the sort of the 1A role to him, and they're starting to roll. And then guess where you have to go? To at Utah. Utah is 23-5, and enough said. And they're 13-2 at home. Be careful. That's one where LeBron's going to have to play huge for them to survive that game, right? Then you got Portland at home. Portland is a surprise in the West to me because they don't have CJ, and they're 16-10 sitting in the 5th seed. Okay?
And they have already beaten you.
They've already beaten you. Then here comes Golden State. They sink or swim depending whether Steph is hot or not. Hot or not, hot or not. But if he is hot, you got problems.
Yes.
Okay? They are sitting in the 8th spot right now. So they are, as we speak, a playoff team. I'm not sure they will hang in there, but they are, when you have Steph, you got a chance, right? Then here comes Phoenix. The 4 seed right now, 17-9.
Yep.
And you left them out. You always leave them out when you talk about threats in the West. Are you discounting them?
No, I don't think they're one of the top three teams. Right? I just listed 3 teams. I think Utah, Lakers, and the Clippers. Okay.
Well, Devin Booker, I said at some point he's going to win an MVP. It doesn't look like it's going to be this year, but that's who he is.
Yes.
And that team is well coached, and it's got so much young talent. DeAndre Ayton is.
And Chris Paul does a great job of steering the ship.
And do you have a DeAndre Ayton on your team? I think not.
No.
Okay, and then you wind up this stretch before the All-Star break at Sacramento. I told you they're 7-10 at home, 12-15 overall. They're just dangerous on any given night.
Because they're so young, they just up and down.
Hey, and De'Aaron Fox is an all-star. He's just an all-star, and he's turned into a perennial all-star.
Yep.
Okay, look at that stretch. That's pretty rough. So your man is now 26-8-8. Down 2 assists from last year when he led the league. So he's concentrating on other things. Okay? 3-point shooting, you better start making them. The seat's getting hotter. You got to make them.
I prefer he make the free throws.
Okay.
Because he's missing those at an alarming rate.
Okay, free throws right now. He is at 71%. That ranks 97th in the National Basketball Association. 97th at 71%. Not good enough.
Right.
To me, that's not MVP caliber. So you better up the ante here. You better up your game in every facet.
Well, I just think the thing is, Skip, he's going to have to play better. They're going to have to. They can't afford to get out because what they did against the Nuggets is what they do. They normally start slow. Skip, they were down 22-2 to Memphis, and we saw them fall behind by 15 to OKC in a couple of games. So they normally start slow against the Nuggets. They started well. It was the last 2 to 3 minutes at the half that got them into trouble, and then they was never able to get back in the ball game. But like I said before, this is LeBron's opportunity without Anthony Davis to show why people have him in the MVP discussion and leading the charge.
I got it.
But the other guys also, Skip.
I agree. Kuzma, rise and shine.
Schroeder,
rise and shine. Markieff. His brother last night had a big 32-point game for the Clippers.
He got him to that start in the first half, Skip.
Markieff, you better rise and shine.
Yes.
And finally, THT on TNT. You better rise and shine because you have been blessed by the King. You have been knighted on both shoulders with a sword by the King. Am I right about that?
Yeah.
You are a Clutch client. And he has blessed you because he wants you to rise and shine for Clutch, for the agency, and for the Lakers. Is it time for THT to start taking over games in spurts?
Yes.
Well, maybe.
Yes.
That LeBron says he's something. He's special, right?
Yes.
Okay. So
Skip, you know what they need to do, Skip? They just need to make. I'm watching everybody around the league. Everybody can make threes except us. You notice that everybody, I'm talking about, they draining threes left and right. They're making 15, 20, 25, 27. I think somebody made a couple of weeks ago, maybe made 28, 29. I'm like, damn, Lakers going 6 of 30. Lakers go 7 of 27. I'm like, damn, everybody can shoot except the Lakers?
I thought LeBron figured it out.
Skip, LeBron ain't shooting 27 threes. The team needs to figure it out. I ain't worried about GOAT. GOAT gonna do other things.
But GOAT's got to lead the charge. He's got to set the tone.
Skip, they got the second best record overall in the NBA. He's doing fine.
Okay, 2 weeks ago, I was reading all these stories about, Lord have mercy, LeBron is making every three he looks at. And some nights he can when he gets going.
Skip, look, the likelihood of somebody shooting 50% all year from the three-point line, especially a guy that shoots that many. Yeah, there have been guys that shot 50%, but they didn't shoot the volume that LeBron is shooting. As great as Steph Curry is, he's never shot 50% from the three. Neither has Clay. There have been some great Ray Allen, Reggie Miller. There have been some great shooters from three. Shooting 50% from the three-point line is very difficult. If you can shoot 40, you've had an outstanding season from the three. If LeBron James can stay somewhere in the high 30s, to maybe 40% from the three, that'll be fine, considering there have been very few people that have other tools in the toolbox, as many tools as he has, because he still can get to the rim, Skip.
Okay, well, he better be getting to the rim like
No,
crazy.
that takes too much out. Look,
okay.
I think what needs to happen is that there are a lot of times that LeBron gets up to these blazing starts, and then he's like, okay, I'm good. Let me get other guys involved. Okay. I don't know if he's going to be able to continue to do that.
Over this 9-game stretch, without AD, before you hit the All-Star break, what will he shoot from three? Can he shoot 40% from three in this stretch?
As long as you say 38, 40, we good.
Well, is it 40? Which is it? What
we need to do is that come out of this 9-game stretch, we need to be no worse than 7-2.
Okay, all right. What I don't want to see is I don't want to see that first-year Laker LeBron. I don't want to see it anymore. I don't want to see in this stretch him saying, I just don't have enough help.
Well, I think the thing is Kuzma should be better. I like to think the guys that they have around him are better. They're not as young now, so guys, and they've won a championship. A lot of these guys, Caruso's won a championship, THT's won a championship, KCP's won a championship. So the expectation level and what LeBron expects of them and what they expect of themselves should be higher than what it was 3 years ago.
I just don't want to see Kuzma have to shove LeBron out to guard a three-point shooter.
Yep. Look at the defensive analytics on LeBron.
Yeah.
They speak for themselves.
Oh, okay.
They speak for themselves.
I just don't want to see that blooper tape that we saw 2 years ago.
How about this here?
Wait.
No.
Wait. No. Just to remind everybody, I think we need, wait, here it is. It came out of nowhere. I didn't call for it. It just happened. It has a mind of its own. LeBron, get out there and guard the three-point shooter. Kuzma had to shove him out there. LeBron, you got to pick up the ball. Just don't do this in this 9-game stretch. Don't try to be too cool for school here and kick the ball out of bounds before you pick it up. LeBron, stop it. LeBron, you can't do this. This is Mario Hezonja. You got to be. That's the last-second shot at the Garden. You can't let Hezonja block your shot.
But let me ask you a question.
What happened?
Did you know what I noticed? You ain't show no footage from the bubble last year. You ain't show nothing of that last year. What happened last year?
You saw what happened.
What happened?
The Clippers didn't want to be there.
See? You see what you did? Now, all of a sudden, we get responsible for somebody else not wanting to be there. You got an obligation. That's what you do. You play, right?
The Miami Heat last night lost to the Clippers without 4 starters, and that's the Heat team you got to play in the final.
What I got to do with it?
Congratulations. Okay, so you won cubic zirconia.
Was Giannis over there?
Over where?
In the East. What about the Celtics? What about Toronto?
Yeah. Did you see Giannis in the postseason last year in the bubble?
That's not our fault.
Oh, okay.
That's not our fault.
Okay, I just don't want to see any more blooper tapes. I don't want to get through this stretch and have to show you another blooper tape.
Do you want me to show you? You want me to show you what the Clippers did in Game 6, 7?
No.
You don't want me to see Paul George hit the backboard?
It's just ingrained in my psyche.
Okay. I'm just making sure.
I'll
just make it show.
It's tattooed on my psyche.
You don't want me to show you Kawhi going 2-11 in the fourth quarter of Game 7?
Yep.
You did.
He did. Because they were looking ahead to the match they wanted was to beat the Lakers.
Yeah.
And they're on a mission this year to beat the Lakers.
You can't talk about where you're going and crash on your way there.
Well, that's what they do.
You never make it.
Yep. I agree.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.